Hello, this is Beacon of Light, and today I want to be talking about my third dream. Now, this dream has to do with me and my ex being trapped in a house. So, this is where the dream starts. I had a dream where I woke up in this strange house on top of a big bed. And all of a sudden, I noticed that my ex was lying next to me on the bed. And it seemed like we both woke up at the same time, but we did not know exactly where we were. So when we both got up the bed, we both looked at each other. We said, okay, why are you sleeping next to me? Like, I don't get along with you. I don't really like you right now, and you're not my favorite person. So we both gave each other that same look. So, again, when we woke up from the bed, we noticed that not only did we not recognize the bed, but we also didn't recognize the bedroom where we were sleeping. We did not recognize the bedroom. And when we looked around, we were like, we don't recognize the bedroom, we don't recognize the bed, we don't recognize the bedroom, and we don't recognize the house. Like, where are we? Like, what's going on? So then all of a sudden I got up from the bed and I tried opening the door. Now when I tried opening the door, I cannot open the door because it seemed to be like I couldn't open the door because it was locked. And I also noticed, as I was looking around the room, I noticed also that there were no windows, which I thought it was strange because usually in a house or in a bedroom, you would notice that usually there's like one or two windows, but in this bedroom there was no windows at all, which was a little bit strange to me. So then all of a sudden, I thought, oh my goodness, just like I see in TV or movies, usually when there's no windows in a house, is either because you're being kidnapped or in either an abandoned house. So that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh my goodness. I told my ex-husband, we've been kidnapped. We're both kidnapped. And I was panicking. I was really panicking, and I was just trying to find different ways to get out of the room. So again, I tried opening the door again, but I couldn't open the door because, again, I tried for the second time opening the door, but only this time I realized that the door had like this big, huge lock. And that's the reason why I couldn't open it before. So then again, I panicked and I looked around the room, and I kept looking around the room, even though I knew there was no windows. I don't know exactly what I was looking for, but I just kept looking. I was like, there has to be a window. There has to be a window here. There has to be a window, but there was none. And I felt trapped, and I didn't know what to do. And I was panicking because I just felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt trapped. I felt trapped in that room. And I felt like, again, I felt trapped, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I felt even more uncomfortable because my ex was there. And it was an uncomfortable situation for me to be trapped with my ex in this house. Not only in this house, but in this bedroom too. So again, I just kept looking for ways to get out of the room. But not only because I was kidnapped, but I just didn't want to be stuck in the bedroom with my ex at all. I did not want to be stuck with him at all. And I just felt trapped, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, great, I'm trapped with my ex. Not an ex-boyfriend. I'm trapped with my ex-husband. My ex-husband who I have children with. And I don't want to be with him. I don't want to be with him in this room. I feel uncomfortable with him. I feel like I can't breathe. I just need to find a way out of here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. So then I just sat in my bed. I was just sitting in my bed just thinking. And also, I felt like I was tired. I was just tired and exhausted because I was just trying to find different ways to get out of there. I really did. And it came to the point, it's like, you know, I don't want to look anymore. I feel trapped, that there's no way of escaping. And I'm just going to sit on this bed because I just give up. That's it. Then all of a sudden, when I was in the bed, I looked up. I'll give you an example. I looked up. And then I found a small square door. Like, for example, like a small square door. So I seen a small square door on top, like right on top of the wall. So I found a small square door like this, just right on top of the wall. And I looked, I was like, oh, there's a small square door there. There's a small square door there. I was like, I can't believe it. So then I quickly tapped my ex's shoulders and I told him, and I said, hey, there's a door like right there, like right on top. And I think that we can escape if we go through that door. So then he grabbed my legs, and then he quickly lifted me up to go to that door. And as he was doing this, I quickly opened the door and then I went in. And then I grabbed my ex's hand and I was trying to lift him up because remember, the door was high. So as he was, like I said, I was trying to grab his hands and I lifted him up. So I was trying to lift him up. So as I lifted him up, then he quickly reached the door that was up there in the wall. So then when he reached it, he came inside. Then all of a sudden, when we were inside, we were already inside the door, we noticed that it was dark and we couldn't see anything at all. We couldn't see anything at all. We was like, oh my goodness, it's so dark in here. We can't see anything at all. What are we gonna do? So I didn't know what to do. I was like, you know what, we can't see anything. Let's just keep crawling and see where it takes us. So we kept crawling and crawling until finally we reached the end. And when we reached the end, we noticed that there was no door at all. It was fully open. So then we reached the end, and then all of a sudden, when I reached the end, I noticed that there was a light. There was a light. I was like, oh my God, there's a light. That means that we're outside. We're outside. We're almost there. So when we noticed that there was no door at all, we quickly crawled to the edge of the door. Then suddenly, when we were at the edge of the door, we looked down, because again, there was no door. We looked down and we saw that this led to the backyard. I was like, oh my goodness. So I looked down, I was like, oh, this must be the backyard of the house. This is the backyard of the house. So what I did was I just jumped down. And then I fell down the grass. And he did the same. So now we were in the backyard. We fell in the backyard. Then all of a sudden, we started running. Really, really, really fast. And we kept running, and we noticed that we were in front of the house. But there was nowhere to escape. Because the only thing that we saw was this ocean in front of the house. So now, I was like, oh my goodness, how are we gonna escape? There's nothing. All we see is just like a little bit of sand in front of the house and the ocean. How are we going to escape? We cannot possibly get out of here. There's no escape at all. So now we did notice something. We did notice that from far away we seen this land, not too far from the ocean. So the ocean was here, and then we noticed like a land. And we said, you know what? The only way for us to escape is to swim in the ocean. If we swim to the ocean, then we can reach land. So See, the only way to escape was by swimming in the ocean and trying to reach the land that we saw from afar. So then we quickly ran to the ocean, and I noticed this huge wave. It was this huge wave. It was really huge, almost to like right there. So it was a really huge wave. And I said, now I got scared. I was really scared, and I moved back. I was like, there's no way I'm swimming over that big wave, because I'm not a great swimmer. I'm really not. And I'm afraid if I go over the wave that I'm going to drown. So I'm just going to wait until the wave settles down. So then after a minute or two, the wave settled down. And then all of a sudden, when we went in the ocean, when we tried to swim in the ocean, there was this huge big gate. There was this huge big gate. I noticed there was this huge big gate that just went down. And I was like, oh my goodness. What are we gonna do? Now we cannot escape because this huge gate is right in front of us. And we cannot go past. We cannot go past this ocean. This huge gate that's blocking us from swimming in the ocean. What are we gonna do? So then I turned around and saw this woman laughing at us. And I noticed that she was our kidnapper. And she was the one controlling the gates. And I looked at him and he looked at me. And I thought to myself, great, I'm stuck here forever. I'm stuck here forever, trapped with my ex. And there's nothing that I can do about it. I feel like I'm going to be trapped in this situation forever. And there's no way out. So to whoever this word is for, something keeps pulling you back to the relationship. And you feel uncomfortable and trapped. And that's what I put in. Uncomfortable and trapped. And there's something not letting you move on from this relationship. And every time you try to escape or try to move on from it, there seems to be a bigger barrier, obstacle getting in the way of you moving on from this person. So again, there seems to be a bigger barrier, obstacle getting in the way of you moving on from this person. And this is what is blocking you from moving on from this person. You feel as though that you can't breathe and you cannot escape them. And you guys have children together. And you don't want to see that person. You don't want to see that person. But you have to see them constantly because of your family. And you always have to communicate with this person due to the fact that you both have children as well. So, and again, you don't want to do this. You don't want to talk to them. You just want to move on. You just want to move on with your life. You don't want to see them anymore. And this is an obstacle that you're going to have to face. So now you feel trapped because you no longer want to be in their presence. And your partner, they feel the same way about you. But even though you guys don't want to work together, you're going to have to try to work it out somehow for the sake of your kids. So again, I'm going to be reading this verse from KJV, King James Version, John 13:34. Again, this is John 13:34. So again, a new commandment I give unto you. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. So, despite that you don't get along with each other, you must try to get along. You must try to get along and just try to love one another. You know, even if you're put in a situation that makes you feel uncomfortable, you have to try. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be best friends with them. All God is just asking you to do is just to love one another. That's all he wants. And it may not be easy now, but it will get easy over time. You know, I feel as though if you learn how to communicate with each other and talk about what it is that is bothering you or bothering one another, then little by little you'll learn how to respect one another. And then later, you'll learn how to love one another as friends and family. So again, you know, God doesn't want to see division. God doesn't want to see division. He just wants you. He just wants you guys to get along and love each other. And that is all. So again, this is Beacon of Light. Thank you for watching my channel and have a great night. Thank you.